Okay, so when you come into Maya, you first want to set up a project document folder. It's very different from any other program. So you're going to go to project window, file project window, and it says, see, this is my old last project. It will always save everything to the last project that you have open, which is unlike any other program I know. But anyway, so you're going to come here, hit new project, and so this is going to be your directory for where that project goes. I don't want it to go to this location actually. I'm going to do 3D, let me see, 3D print test demo. Okay, and I'm gonna click here and it's going to take me here. That's not where I want it. I want it in my documents. And sorry, I have a lot of different, I need to back this computer up. Okay, I'm gonna save it in here in this folder. So this is where this Maya folder is going to go. Alright, I'm going to select. I'm in the middle of a video, hold on. So I'm going to select that file. These are the folders that it's going to make. And you're going to hit accept. I'm actually recording, hold on.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
No, it's okay, I'm just...
Because I heard you talking to me and then I was like...
Okay, hold on, I'll be there in a minute. Okay, so anyways, from here, you're gonna go to set project. And so you're going to have to navigate to that project folder that you just saved, because that's where you want to set the project. So tell Maya where to send the files. Let's see, and I saved it in... Oh, I can't find. I have too much stuff on here. Let's see. Where is it? Oh, here we go. And okay. Yeah, so this is the project folder, the Maya project folder. Except I actually think I went too far. You don't want to go into the folder. You just want to click on the folder. So you're just going to click the folder, right, and it's set. And then what I like to do is just go ahead and save a scene. So this is where it's going to take you. You can check that it's in the right location by looking at user. That's the folder I wanted in. So double check that, and then you're going to always save the projects in the working scene. So I like to do just numbers, which is 1. Okay, and so my file's been saved. From here, you're going to go to your Finder window and you're going to navigate to well, that's not what I want actually. You're going to navigate to where your SVG is, because you're going to basically load that into the project file before you bring it into Maya. So I'm going to take this and just move it into here. Okay, and then from here, you don't want to start in any place. You need to put it in one of these folders. I'm going to put it in my images so I can easily reference it. Okay, and it's in there. So you're going to come up here. I'm not going to go over navigation. I'm going to go over that in class. So this is just kind of a quick, if you forget, you can refer back to it because it is a lot of steps. SVG. Whoop, my window opened up on my other screen. So when you click on SVG, it's going to bring up this window right here. And you're going to, so this is the attribute editor. So anytime you click on a shape and there's like something you need to edit, it's going to be over here in this attribute editor. Yours might be docked. Mine is not docking because I'm screen recording too. So, but yours should be docked on the left. And you're going to go to import. and I put it in my images. So you're going to take that and you're going to select it and you're going to hit open. Okay. And you know what? I made a mistake. So this is good. I made a mistake. You're actually going to see it brought in the entire Illustrator file. I didn't mean to do that. That was not my intent. You actually just want, yeah, it brought in the entire Illustrator file. So you don't want to do that actually. You only want to bring in one. So, and also, let me see something interesting. It did not. Oh, interesting. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to stop this video, and that's going to be an example of what not to do. So I'm going to go back and actually save this in its own separate Illustrator file and re-import it again. So okay, so we're back again in Illustrator. Alright, so actually what I did is I copied this from the last document over, and I actually want to make it a little smaller than my board. Oh, the computer's going a little slow right now. Okay, I'm just going to center it in the page. Also, you're going to want to, Command G, you're going to want to ungroup it as much as you can. Let's see. As I had some groups up in here. Yeah, okay, it's ungrouped. Yeah, I would say ungroup it. And then you're just gonna save it again, SVG, in the same location we did last time. I'm gonna, what did I call it? It's not showing no, that's my Maya folder. Well, you can actually save it in the Maya folder if you want. In fact, I might even just say well, no, because I really want to capitalize that. Print text. Just do that. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to save that. Okay. And now we're going to jump back to Maya. Okay, so I had saved that file. Well, you know what? I'll just start from the very beginning. I was just sitting here and playing, making sure that the orders of operations are correct. I'm going to delete this just to show you. So we're going to go back to SVG, and you're going to, whoops, where is it? Okay, yeah, SVG2 tab if for some reason yours doesn't pop up like mine did. And we're going to navigate to the SVG file, which I saved the corrected file from Illustrator in the Maya folder. So you can do the same. And we're going to open, and it's going to bring it in like this. So, so this is your origin 00 right here. It's kind of important. And then if you click here, this is center pivot to the object. And if you hit W, you'll see your little gizmo, and that's your center pivot. We're going to rotate this object first. So you're going to hit your E key, and that's your rotation tool. But actually, for this purpose, because sometimes the perspective can get you off, we're going to rotate it on the, see this gizmo down here, the x-axis, 90 degrees. Okay, and so if you hit spacebar, it will take you to these windows. There's 4 different windows. I have my top view, front view, and side view. I'm gonna go to my side view. These are from before. my little test that we're doing to make sure that this works correctly, or I tell you correctly. I'm just going to move them out of the way for you guys. So you're going to select this object, and what we're going to do is I like to keep it around my origin point, because eventually you're going to have to lock it there. So I'm just moving this. If you press W, and because I'm in the side view, it won't let me move any other direction, and that's really nice. To change the pivot point, you're going to hit D and V at the same time, and you're going to drag to the bottom of the object. You'll feel it click, and you're going to let go. So then when you move this object, you're going to hold the J key, and it's going to snap to the grid. Now I just realized I completely forgot. You need to align these pixels for some reason, or these vertexes. For some reason, when you do SVGs, they tend to come in like this. They might if you look, I'll show you. The vertexes are not even, and I just got to this menu, which I'll go over tomorrow. Holding right click, and you're going to go to vertex. Now if you do this in any other view, you have to be careful because you may select the wrong ones, but because it's on the side, you'll select all the correct ones. So you're going to hold your left button and drag for box selection, and then you're going to hit R, which is your scale tool. And you're going to take this and then just even it out by pressing with your left mouse button and then just dragging up. And then see that line of vertices is now even. And we're going to do the same with the bottom. Just select left mouse button, and then what we're going to do is see where the pivot point is again. So we're going to hit W to switch to your move tool. And oops, don't do that. Oops. Okay. So my pivot point is a little off, so I'm going to hit W again, and I'm going to hit D, and I'm going to hit V, and just make sure that it's in the right spot. Yep. And then what you're going to do is you're going to hit J, whoops, J. Sorry, my computer is a little slow with the video recording at the same time. Okay, W, and then you're going to hold J, and it will lock to your point. And let's see. And let's see, give me one sec. Yeah, so to get to these windows, basically what you do is you hit spacebar and then you hover your mouse over, and then you'll be a spacebar again. Okay. My computer right now is lagging right now. I think it's because I'm filming a video at the same time, so. So to navigate around the screen, remember you have to hit Control or Alt while you click with your left mouse button or your middle mouse button. Those are the two ones you use a lot, is left mouse button for rotating and middle button for kind of like panning around the scene. So yeah, it's interesting. Sorry, my computer is lagging and it's kind of messing up my keys a little bit. I think it's because of the screen recording. Okay, so when you center the pivot, if you click up here, it's always going to center the middle of the object. And that's good to know. But so I'm going to go back to this side view, and to move the pivot, again, D and V you hold and drag, and then you hold J, and so if you need to move around the screen in this side view, hold Control while pressing your middle mouse button, and that will do that for you. Okay, so now if you hit X, you can lock it right to the grid. And so I like this position, so I'm going to come here and it's going to freeze transformation. So basically what that means is if you look on the right hand side, you translate X, Y, and Z, what happens is it zeroes it out. And this is actually really important because when you 3D print, it has to be in the center pivot point. It has to do with the bed location. So space bar, and then hover over this window, and space bar again, and then we can kind of orbit above it. This is a really dark material, so what I'm going to do right now is change the material just because it's dark. You don't have to do it. I'm going to, so it's easier to see. So you just right click and do assign new material, Lambert, and basically all of the adjustments to your object are going to be in this attribute editor. And so I just assigned a new material, but I still have to go through this map. And if you actually right click on this arrow, so these are all my last modifications, which actually before we do anything, I'm going to do this. Delete the history. It's right up here next to my freeze transformation. It will delete all those, all that data that was caught up in here. So now I only have this simple mesh, and then the material color in my attribute editor. So I'll go to here, this Lambert, it's a type of material. Really don't need to go any more depth than that. This is just so you guys can see it better. And then, okay, so that's not white. Let's see. Except, let me see something. Assign existing material. Use all, well, I don't have any licensing, that's right. Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah, sometimes the color will not show. If you guys decide you want to change the color, it's too dark to see or whatever. You have to make sure that this one right here, textured, is selected, and use this default material button right here, and it will bring it in as a darker color. Okay, so from here, oh, interesting. This is actually, I think I had aligned my grid up. Yeah, I think I didn't align to the right. That looks like the right one. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so that's still not in the right location, so let me go ahead and fix that. So I'm holding X right now, and I'm sliding to the pivot point. I'm going to look on the side. Okay, yeah, now it's in the right location. Oh, another thing, this is dark, right? These windows use default material. These windows, you can set parameters, so it might look black in one window and then white in another. But it's because each window has its own settings for this. So you can have two different settings. So see how it's black here? It's because I don't have that same material button selected in this window. So anyways, back to this window. Alright, so what we're going to do first is we're going to draw some curves. And so you're going to want to start in the side view panel. And I'm holding again Command and then just pressing the middle mouse button to pan like this. And then you can just zoom by rolling the middle scroll. We're going to go to Create. And Oh, sorry. Okay, create curve tools. And you're going to go to this EP curve tool. Alright, so the way it works is you have to lay down like a few, right? And then you hit enter and it's going to draw that curve. Now you're not locked to that curve shape. What you can now do is go to, let me see, which one? Oh, you can go to right click and then, pull your little string to control vertex, and then just left clicking and dragging will give you the selection box, and you can do this to change the shape. The U, it's just like every other point here, every vertex point. It's just that means that that's like the start, basically, of your curve. Now I'm just putting this thing called soft selection on. If you do B, click B, and then you have to select the vertex and then do B, it will turn on. And then if you, at the same time, after you hit B, hold on. If you hold B and then you just press with your left mouse button and then just move your mouse back and forth, you'll get this, like, basically this is a brush setting, right? And what it does is it moves it kind of more organically. So if you want to make small adjustments, it's a good tool to use. And but you don't have to. You can just move the points. It's sort of up to you. In fact, it might be overkill for this. It's really great though when you're doing like modeling and moving a bunch of vertices and you need to move them more organically. It's an awesome tool. Okay, so I have this curve drawn, and as you can see, because we drew from the side, it looks like this actually. So again, I'm rotating by holding Control and left mouse button clicking to rotate like this. And so what you're going to want to do is press your Q. That's always your selection tool. Pretty much anytime you want to like select something like different, you're always going to press Q first to just select. You're going to select the curve and go to press W, and you're going to want to drag it to the side, like off from the object. You don't want it to be on top of the object, but off. And then you're going to do Command D, and it's going to place it right there, like basically in front, like Illustrator. And you're going to drag it to this side. Okay. And so now you're going to go to Q again. You're going to hold Shift and select the other curve that we just made. And you're going to go to, let's see, surfaces, and you're going to go to this loft. And if you see these squares are like deeper menus to go into. It's basically like your settings for that button. Okay, so you're going to make sure it says polygons, because right now this is a nerve. These curves are nerves. I'm not going to explain it, it's not important. But you're going to make sure that this is on quad. It should be, so you're going to hit loft. And so what that did is it connected all your points. Although it made the loft upside down. It's not really a big deal. It's just an easy adjustment. So you're going to click with Q, click on that object, and you're going to go to Mesh, and maybe it's Edit Mesh. Let me find it. Oh my gosh, where is it? Okay, Mesh. No, not fill hole, sorry. I have this key kind of saved on my menu somewhere, and now I can't remember how to get to it. Oh, here we go. Mesh display is actually where you want to go to. You're going to go to reverse. And so now, like, it's the correct orientation. So whenever you make this, it's also, you just move that out of the way by hitting W, it will leave the curve behind. So you can just like select these with Q and then just hit the delete button, and you're going to slide this back over the shape. Again, I'm reorienting my view with control and left button I'm holding. Okay, so we want to go to the side view because we want to be able to make sure that this plane that I just created is intersecting the object. So as you can see, it's not quite tall enough, so it's not a big deal. Hit the Q button, select your object, and then right click on the object, right click and hold, right? And you're gonna go to object mode. Actually, you can just right click. You're gonna press the R key and you're gonna pull this top green one up, and what it's gonna do is it's gonna make your shape taller. Okay, and we're gonna go back to this view, and as you can see, it's going straight through the object. So that's exactly how we want it. So from here, we have to do this thing called Boolean subtraction, basically to like cut out what we don't want, which is this whole top part. And so to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to, oh, that's right. You're going to select the object. I always forget the order. You know, one sec, I wrote down here. Okay, yeah, you're going to select the object, and then you're going to select the surface that you want to remove. And you're going to go to this modeling toolkit on the side. It's right above your attribute editor and channel box. And you're going to hit Boolean. And you have this little window that will pop up, and it says operations. If you hover over this operation, you'll get this little arrow, and you can actually just like basically click on it and then roll left or right, and it will change the operation. And in this case, we wanted it to do intersection, so I'm going to leave it at that. If you have some problem where it didn't remove your plane, because I did try one on one of these and it didn't remove my plane, it like left the plane but cut the top part out, what you would do is you would go up to, because there's the thing with Maya is like it looks like there's a lot of buttons, but most of the buttons do like the same thing, so they're just like multiple ways to do them. So you would go to mesh and you would go to Boolean, but instead of just like pressing the button and it happened, you would click on this square, because again, this square gives you a bunch of settings, and so that you can like kind of control it better. So you would go to the intersection one, or no, that's not where you want to go. Well, you know, if anyone has that problem, let me know. I can help you fix it. It's just, I think because I already cut this out, that menu looks different, but there is a little button and you just need to even it out. But if anybody has that problem, contact me directly. I can help you out. But for the purpose of this, I want to wrap up these videos. So that is basically what I'd print, right? The surface. Now, something I haven't talked about in this video, but is important, is your scale. So we made this 6x6 in Illustrator, but Maya has its own units of measurements, and it's not in inches or anything like that. But you can go here to create locator, and I like to use this to check some things. Let me see. I don't know why it's not working right now. My locator. Oh, okay, there it is. All right, so if you look, whenever you bring an object into the scene, it's always going to put it in the middle, but it's hidden by my shape. So you hit W, and you pull it up. Oops. Although, you want to just select the locator. So, I just accidentally selected both. And you're going to bring it up, bring it over. And what this thing is you can place it at the corner of your objects, and it will give you like the measurement. Command D. Okay. All right. Sorry, that's not your locator tool. That's not actually the tool I want to show you guys. You guys tell I'm learning too much software all at once, because that's what's happening right now. You actually want to go to your measurement tool, and so it's create measurement tools and then distance. And again, it's going to give you something, I think, oh no, yeah, so this is going to place the same looking object as a locator, but it's not a locator, it's a measurement distance. So you click on one corner, and then you're going to click on another one, and it's going to give you the distance. Sorry. Yeah, I'm learning too many different softwares at the same time. I'm getting them all mixed up. So this is not in inches, this is in Maya scale. This is like 9.447. This is going to be important because, like, in order to get Lee to print this, he needs to know the measurements. But that's a really awesome tool to use to double check stuff. To change the Maya measurements, you need to go to Windows, and you're going to go to General Editors. And you're going to go to, sorry, not General Editors. You're going to go to Settings and Preferences, and you're going to click on Preferences. So Windows, Setting, Preferences, and then Preferences. It's going to open up this dialog box. And from here, you're going to click on Settings. And so this is working units right now. Mine are in centimeters. You can put it in millimeters, centimeters. I'm pretty sure, in fact, I printed it in inches last time, but I'm not sure if we actually changed it to centimeters and millimeters later on. I'm actually not sure. We might have to ask him that question. But I like to work in inches because I think in inches, right? Because of just Illustrator and everything. I just think in inches. So now this will be 9.47 some whatever. Inches. So, and if you saw, I just exited out of that box, and my distance measurement tool is still open. If you hit Q, it will disable that, so it won't be open anymore. And like, so like you say, like this is bigger than 6x6, right? Because it came in differently. So that's what I mean. Like you have to be careful of the scaling from Illustrator to Maya. Doesn't necessarily translate. Just because you made it this side in Illustrator doesn't mean it's going to be that size in Maya. Although I think if you start with Maya in inches, it will translate better than switching like I did. So to scale it, if you need to make it smaller or anything, it will scale from the middle if you just click on your R key, and then you just see this one right here, the yellow one. If you click that, it will scale it evenly through everything. So then what you can do is click off of it and then go to Q. You can select all of this, click, drag select, and you can delete those locators. You can go back to Create, Measurement Tool, Distance Tool, and you can even go to the top view. Actually, it's probably better. And what you can do is just eyeball it. And yeah, so you could say like 7. You could give that measurement to Lee if he needs to know the exact size. And because this is a square, I know that both sides are going to be the same. So that's how you do that. And he will, I'm trying to think what type of file I sent him. I printed this like 3 weeks ago at this point. maybe, yeah, about 3 weeks ago. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, see, still deleting these. And I think it's because I keep remaking them. Anyways, yeah, I made a bunch, didn't I? Yeah, you just keep clicking them. You don't need those in the scene, so just keep deleting them if you get too many that are laid there. So yeah, I would save the file, and I showed you already how to set up the project file. A lot of times I still will double save it to make sure that it saves. Sometimes I lose stuff because this file thing can get a little confusing. I like to double check to make sure I have the file. I think what you're going to do is probably export it. So you could select everything since it's the only thing that's going to be in your scene. You go to export selections, but you could also export all. Doesn't really matter. And the file type, I'm just let's see. I don't know why I shouldn't have to send that. Okay, so click on export selection. Okay, so this is actually the window that you, let's see. Oh, no, never mind. Okay, so ignore that. Go to export all. I don't know why it's not letting me export as an FBX. 1 second here. Let me see. Export. Yeah, and I had some stuff with my Maya earlier. Some of my plugins I had to reinstall because I updated my Mac, and I'm let me pause this video and double check on something to make sure that's not a plugin that I also have to reinstall, because you're going to want to export this as an FBX, so let me double check on that. Okay, well, good news. It was entirely 100% because of whatever update my computer did, and Maya, for some reason, I had to reinstall all the plugins. So I'm not going to go over that because you guys should not have to worry about that. You guys should have it freshly downloaded, so you shouldn't have any problems. So yeah, again, like I said, file, export selection. When you go to this drop down, you'll have this FBX export. It's possible that he might ask you for an OBJ. I think he can do either file type, and so you're just going to name it here like I usually put my name in the front. I always do Grant. We'll say Grant, but it's K.Grant. Okay, so sample, and then I usually put the date so I know what version I am testing. Well, that's just me. Okay, and you're going to hit export